They use, there's something that's confusing that I just want you to be aware of. I know that they use FICO over in TICO and NICO areas for honesty, altruism, and so that we don't scare the fuck out of the humans. But here's the thing. America, the 50 postage stamps, but we'll go with the Department of State of New York being derelict and non-existent, even though we granted our presence on their reunion or their re-upping of their union membership amongst the global flock. So now and that's what I was present for by phone only. I was still in Belrose. So now if we've got gridiron and we got my waffle iron, where are we losing? Like, why are they leaving the pancake batter on for 42 years and letting it burn into a blazing house fire? Just curious. When the gentleman NICO came to see, looks like his son, right, it was a little awkward with Jay there, but whatever, looked more like him. So now, with that being said, he said to me, he's like, where I come from, he says, we don't use the word, somebody told me the word polygamy is appropriate. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I don't like the way that sounds, but I don't know what it is. He's like, right. He says, well, if I told you that a golden eagle flew and landed on your head, I'm like, now what does that mean? I could get that, at least I could get an image of, and that makes a little bit more sense. And then if I was like, really, now, in this moment at 42 rather than at 20-something, if I sit back and I think about it, it's like, okay, right, so the one L for it being legal, a legal family, was left off because I guess he was there to document that they were giving me the phone, Panasonic phone, as a present from Uncle Sam, but that came from Pete's side of the family, Peter Roemer, same man who was trying to hurt me from the very beginning. So I don't understand why even Nico would leave me with a phone that's going to be supersonic and have such an ear-piercing, detrimental, radar built into its scrambling effect so nobody can monitor the phone calls. I don't talk on the phone. You want to monitor my phone calls? Monitor them all day fucking long. Nobody gives a shit. It is like I can't deal with the headache of radio scrambling. It messes with your genetics, it messes with your thought process, it messes with your environment. What the fuck is wrong with humans? I swear. So now, here I am, still waiting. They've drained all resource and all purpose out of New York. There's no money. There's no governance. They haven't asked me to come to a movie premiere. They haven't asked me to come to a meeting. They haven't asked me to come work for anybody. They haven't agreed to give me any money. I remember talking on the phone, and the kingly gentleman was like, he's like, I'm going to be your source for a moment. He's like, because I grew up not like you. He says, but right, I've seen movies. So I'm like, okay. And so he said, where we come from, we like to not upset the good servicemen that have guns because they are the respectable men that we try to partnership with so we can keep people safe. I'm like, right, no, I get that. Those are the dads that swore a pledge to protect little girls like me. Yeah, I was asking if they had any room at wherever they were, if I could like maybe get a ride. How do you get to wherever they are? Because I didn't think it was a good idea where Linda and Lou had a paranormal event that brought me into this universal garbage dump. I wanted to go where the men had fresh air, exercised every day. They had smart people that talked and communicated, and it wasn't like the boutique thing I got going on in unique parental situation with the... Right. So now, why would they think that I don't like them? I just haven't seen... I mean, they said that they existed, but it's like a movie set, because what I see, I don't see them. I mean, I saw one once at a food store getting coffee, but then he went back on... Right, and then, like, that's the other thing, is, like, it became part of our vernacular. Like, you say something, you're like, well, no, that sounds off base. Yeah, it does sound off base, because there's the base understanding, and then there's the off base understanding. Right, see, here's the thing. She doesn't live on a base. She was born off a base, but she's way soars in the clouds above the other off base born children. So now what do? Right, yeah, see, nobody came up with any good ideas. I really thought that if you were born on a base, you had a better network of smart things. But that's why I'm like, I don't think they really exist. Again, it's like, you show these images on these things called a TV, but it's like, all right, is that a Hollywood set? Like, did you rent that and get, like, nice clothing? Somebody donated it to you? I don't know. How do things work in the world? Because it really doesn't make any sense to me at all. Do I feel safe? Nope. Like, the humans, they come to talk to me, they're not normal. They're just not. I never know, are you, like, talking to me because you're one of us? And some of them you just know they're not you. And they're just, right. And you're like, okay, so now is this how they are when they leave my presence? Or were they bought like cattle for the day to deliver a message through back ops that's looking for key codes to my other project that they're locking me out of? I swear to God, every time a human talks to me for the last 42 years, that's the thing that runs through my head. It's like, huh? Right. Yeah. And sometimes it's even my own kids. Not Alexander. I don't have a problem with him. Sometimes Ben says stuff and I'm like, or when he was little, I was like, that did not sound normal, Benjamin. Where the hell? Is that like a ROEMER thing? Like, because that is not my mainstay function, and I don't know why that's coming out of your mouth. Same thing with the little one. Tiafrey was like the worst. Little Johannes Vermeer. I'm like, my fucking God. It is like, it used to be like a little baseball-sized snowball, and then it started picking up in diameter. It got to be about that sphere size, and then now it is like avalanche time. I'm like, got me. Gold. Somebody told me, some handsome, tall, looked like he was somebody special, told me a golden eagle landed on my head. I'm going to go with that because that's like a on-base talk. Oh, but these off-base thingamajigs. See, but they don't even get that. They're like, no. See, that doesn't sound normal, so it's off-base. I'm like, but that, again, is orientation. Did you grow up off-base? Because then you would think it was off-base, because then they are coming off-base to try to talk to you all and, like, assess the level of dipshit. Like, you gotta, like an Ewok, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta touch the, oh God, it's bad out here. No, it definitely is between what they know over there and what the dipshits don't know over here, and then trying to communicate, even in the same linguistical prowess of English. It's like, oh, what did they do with the head machines? Yeah, I mean, I know I was needed. I know I was brought in for something. Why the hell would you leave me locked out with no way to care for myself, no money, no opportunity, nowhere to go? Like, where do you go? Like, I tried going to, like, the Ronkonkoma Mark Arthur place. I mean, I gave them my ID. check in, like, I don't know, does anybody check the roster? I mean, usually, I mean, I'm like the creative, I'm like the star art department, like, usually that's behind the eyes, so, right, the machine that helps keep you safe is broken. That's what I was brought in for. So now, why would Star Arts allow the walking artwork to ignore me and harm me for the last 42 years? Anybody ever ask themselves that question when the world's just not working right? Just curious. By the way, I was also, there is, if we go, FICO score, sorry, state of New York uses FICO. So I've had now 2 cars, I've taken out the loans, I've tried to pay them based on, they don't have stable payroll in New York, or at least what I've been born around. There's nothing stable payroll at all. Jason has stable payroll through NYPD, but it took him a while to get that, and there was nothing for me. I had JP Morgan Chase, but it wasn't enough money mechanics wise in order to afford anything. And I had Merrill Lynch at some point, but it's been intermittent and it's not readily available. And the money mechanics don't work on steady payroll. And it's not state payroll, it's private corporation payroll. So I have 2 automobile car repossessions, 1 whatever, and then I have a house that I was paying the mortgage for that got repossessed. They call it foreclosure. So, and I had a whole bunch of credit cards that I was living off of trying to get work, but couldn't get work. So I have a whole bunch of those that I stopped paying because I just didn't have the money for it. So my FICO score inside the state of New York, since I'm off base and I am in the state of dereliction from the global op and New York's ability to cooperate properly with my off-base birth. Meanwhile, I'm an on-base kid. That's where I'm meant to be, but not like Mickey Sticker Club. I got Star Art base. And so their inability to work together to come get me has forced me into the pubic public of off-base things, of dipshits, with a boutique situation at Star Art and less than intelligent things. And I'm trying to survive amongst that fauna and flora. But you can't, I mean, now I'm back with my parents. And so now on my FICO, on the off-base FICO, is horrific. I think it's around 400 or 500 points. My on-base FICO is through the roof. Because I always tell the truth. I always state the facts. I'll paint you the picture of what it looked like. But I'm not getting baby mama drama. He was ugly. We had aerial problems. We had a boutique problem with whatever was going on with him. Niklaus got pulled out. He got pushed in. And then, again, there's nobody informing me in New York because they're playing fucking equipment games in on-base things elsewhere. So if you're going on FICO scores, which one? The on-base FICO or the off-base FICO? Because the off-base FICO is the FICO score that we use to judge how the global operations is taking care of me. So they're in like a negative accounting measure, and my on-base FICO is through the fucking roof. I don't know what it goes up to.